Oh, it's been a minute. Beach Steppin, the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Thursday, May 25th, 2023. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to him, the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Ayo.
Hey, yo. And last but not least, over yonder, making the magic happen here today on the beach, it's Eshawa Kid.
How y'all doing?
What's up, Esh? Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Get your No Dunks merch over at nodunks.com. Coming up later today, brand new No Buffs, the finale podcast for us, breaking down last night's 3-hour Survivor 44 episode. So lots to talk about. Join us at 1 p.m. Eastern. No Buffs has its own YouTube feed and its own podcast feed, and man, we got a lot to break down. No spoilers here, but can't wait to talk about that with TK and JD. That's later. And tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we're going to host another NBA watch party on playback for Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Looking forward to that. Does it end tonight, or can the Beantown boys force a Game 6 on the weekend? Are we going to have weekend basketball? It's in the hands of Boston and Miami.
Great question.
Tonight. Yeah.
Great question. We shall see.
Before we get to the beach and answer a few of your great questions that you sent in by way of Twitter and YouTube and email, a little bit of news. The LA Clippers general manager Michael Winger has agreed to become the president of Monumental Basketball, which is the parent company of the Washington Wizards, the Mystics in the WNBA, and the G League Go-Go. I always forget they're called the Go-Go's. Winger has served in the Clippers GM role since 2017. Prior to working with the post-Lob City Clippers, he was with the Thunder under Sam Presti, and he was also with the Cavaliers under Danny Ferry. So Michael Winger is your president of basketball operations when it comes to all three of those entities under the Monumental umbrella.
Always funny when you see Monumental Network.
Yeah.
It's a cool business name.
Yeah, it doesn't just say Wizards. Yeah, Monumental. It's got a lot under that umbrella. Apparently, Michael Winger is quite the coup. Apparently, he's a good get, and will be doing a good job there. They're striving for. You remember, like years past, the Wizards were trying to go get Masai Ujiri, and now moving on from Tommy Shepard, they went and got a big name in the executive world that maybe we don't know about quite often. But
I'll be honest, when I saw his picture, I was like, "Oh, that's him."
Yeah, that's how basketball front offices work quite often. But well known, well renowned by people in the exec biz in front offices.
He does prefer to be in the background rather than out front. That's what David Aldridge wrote about. He'll be hiring a GM here too, in theory, to take over that role for the Washington Wizards, because he's going to be overseeing all this. There's a lot of teams that have similar arrangements to that. You know, the Magic come to mind. Obviously, the Clippers, it was Lawrence Frank, right? And then Winger was the GM, but now he sort of got the promotion. Any thoughts on this, TK?
I like that it's somebody from outside of the organization for the first time in like 20 years or something like that. All of the reporting around this is that potentially it would be okay to rebuild in Washington. Ted Leonsis, as long as Michael Winger submits a quality plan for a rebuild, they could rebuild, but then it comes down to what happens with Bradley Beal. The guy is a good player, one of the better players in the league, but not one of the best players in the league, and he's got a no-trade clause, and that's going to continue to be the question for the Wizards and for Michael Winger. What happens there? What happens with Porzingis? What happens with Kuzma? What happens with Unseld Jr.? There are a lot of questions, so it's good that they actually have somebody in charge now, because the draft is coming pretty soon.
Very, very soon. So congratulations to Michael Winger, and it looked like the Wizards fans were pretty happy about this news. Like you said, getting a guy, a notable name at least, from outside the Washington Wizards brain trust there. And also I saw DA write that he could be a good match with Wizards coach Wes Unseld Jr., who also leans into like advanced stats as part of his nightly game planning, and Winger is apparently like hardcore into the analytics and the advanced stats and stuff like that. So maybe there's a marriage there. Then again, new GM comes in, usually then a new coach. So we'll see. Lots of decisions there. Let's hit the beach, though. We got some great questions. First one, I'll jump right into it here. Hello, Engelbert Humperdunks.
Okay.
Me and the boys are planning a trip to Summer League this year. Any tips for first-time Summer Leaguers and first-time Las Vegasers like myself? Thanks and go Hawks. That's from Ethan here in Atlanta. Who's got tips for our guy Ethan when it comes to Summer League / Vegas?
I'll start us off. Do your research, Ethan. And by that, I mean know the faces of front office executives like Michael Winger. Know the faces of assistant GMs because it is an NBA convention. You see everyone. You want to impress your buds? Say, hey, that's Michael Winger. You know his background? That guy loves analytics. I mean, you can get pretty deep, extremely deep. You obviously have to know NBA rosters, G League rosters, to just know the details about each guy that you're going to see. So basketball players, even basketball media.
Yeah.
You see one of your favorite media members in the concourse. That's John Krasinski. You might get excited.
The actor? no, the writer.
No, right.
Okay.
Covers the wolves.
So you got to know your stuff. I think research beforehand pays off. Again, you're going to see a bunch of faces. Would I know Michael Winger walking by him right now? Yes, I saw his headshot today, but I wouldn't necessarily know him if I didn't do my research. Wear comfortable shoes, I would say.
Yep.
You're going to be sitting throughout games, so why wear comfortable shoes? Well, you walk in Vegas, but also because games flip-flop from each arena, you want to rush and beat people from the Cox Pavilion over to the Thompson Mack and get your best seats. Because people are running back and forth.
Because you don't have assigned seating for the most part.
Yeah.
It's a first come.
So shoes, baby.
First serve, right?
Yeah,
When
shoes.
you said games flip-flop, I thought you were going to mention the guy we saw wearing no shoes in stands at Summer League. So
Don't do that.
Bring comfortable shoes or bring no shoes. Either way.
Yeah, I got a photo of someone's feet up on a chair. Nasty stuff. It is Vegas. It is hot. You do sit there for hours and hours and hours. So you can, make it basically make it like a beach and just throw out a blanket if you want. Sometimes there's lots of empty seats. You can get like 3 or 4 seats. But research, comfortable shoes, and buy some merch because the merch is better now these days. So just to have a memory. That's all.
You buy merch there?
No.
I have a shirt that I wear.
I've got like 1,000 shirts. I've got a bowling shirt. I've got about 1,000
Oh, yeah, we got a lot
golf
of bowling
shirts.
shirts.
I got some sweet golf shirts, actually. I still wear them.
That's
So
a good
I'm,
point. I got a Summer League polo as well.
Should have worn mine. Damn it.
Damn it. Do you have any tips for Ethan here? Summer League?
Man, I'm looking at Michael Winger here for the first time. And I'm telling you, if I saw him at Summer League, I would think he was David Griffin's son.
Yeah, I see it.
Guy looks a lot like David Griffin. Here are my tips for first-time Summer Leaguers. Go the first weekend.
Yeah, that's my first note.
That is the key. This year specifically, that's when we'll be there. Maybe you could meet us as long as you research our faces. But the first weekend is the most hype. I don't know if they're going to do, is Victor Wembanyama going to play in Summer League? That seems crazy to me. The guy's been playing professional basketball. Like right now, he's playing professional basketball. He's going to go play against some dude who was the 6th man for Fordham University. I doubt
the
it.
league would love it, that's for sure.
The league would love it. The Spurs would not. Nonetheless, you have a better chance of seeing the absolute best players if you go the first weekend.
Yeah.
Because by the time the second weekend comes around, the best players have shown they're the best players and nobody wants to get hurt, so they're sitting out, and we're talking to Glenn Rice Jr.
Right.
Number 2 thing I would say, Tess, you're saying make it like a beach. You got to bring sunscreen. It is very expensive in Las Vegas. So travel with your own sunscreen. Ethan, you got to hit the pool. You got to wear a very weird jersey. If you have a jersey of a player who is no longer with the team, that is the time to wear it. Is at Summer League. Sean Hyken will take your picture. Here's a couple of fun things you could do in Las Vegas. Get the Peking duck from Mott 32.
Hell yeah.
We went with Matt Austin. The last time we were at Summer League, ordered 2 ducks. You had to order them like 2 weeks early.
I was going to say, you got to order them now, man.
Get your ducks in a row for Mott 32.
Get your Luke Kennards.
That's exactly right. It was good. It was totally worth it.
Incredible.
We should maybe think about
going back?
doing that again.
Yeah, we should.
And the last thing, maybe go see Usher. This Usher show is apparently incredible. Our wives flew across the country in the middle of the week to see Usher.
Yeah, that happened.
And came back raving, and with a bunch of tiny $100 bills with Usher's face on it.
Yes.
Zendaya was there. How's that, Ash?
Oh, yeah.
Zendaya nailed it. Nailed it. Go see Usher. Very expensive, but people say it's worth it.
I would just add to that, if you can't see Usher, go see a show. Go see something
Go see
in
Usher.
Vegas. I mean, well, if you can get the tickets to Usher, then do that. Yeah, but lots of I mean, Tass hates them, but there's some hilarious magic shows you can go see.
Oh, I don't hate them.
Absinthe, is that still going?
Yes.
Highly recommend Absinthe.
The Gazillionaire.
Oh my God.
Incredible show.
Very crude show, but hilarious. And Trae said go the first weekend to Summer League, but just go the first weekend to Vegas. The rule when it comes to Vegas is no longer than 3 days. That's all you're going to want. That's all you need. If you do it right, you live it up, and you'll want to get the hell out of there. Trust me. I mean, we speak from experience. I mean, we used to have to go for like 12, 13 days. We wanted to kill each other, kill ourselves. I mean, it was depressing. It's horrible. So 3 days in and out, you're going to have a blast. But yeah, you got to go that first weekend. And otherwise, great tips there from the guys. I like the Jersey tip. It is the go-to spot, Summer League, to wear the jersey. Hey, go check out this NBA Con, I guess, too. This is a new thing that they're adding this year. We don't really know what it entails, but I would pop in.
We'll see.
Kill a couple hours, right?
Yeah, make it short.
Yeah, right. All right, so Ethan, enjoy Summer League, and we might be a part of a live show there, too, as well. I guess we'll have more details in the coming weeks, but come see us wherever we are.
Okay. Next one. Boa noite. No dunks. As a Spurs fan, I'm ecstatic that we got Wemby. It's almost midnight in Brazil, and I have no idea how I'm going to sleep tonight. I haven't been this happy with my team since halftime against the Warriors in 2015. Now, here's my question. Not counting championship wins, when was the happiest you've ever been with your team? I've been following you guys since the beginning of the starters days. Shout out to the First League Fantasy and to my man Shea Serrano. Cheers from Vitória, Brazil. That's from Marlon G. So your favorite moments with your teams, aside from winning the championship, who wants to get us started?
I've got 3 really quickly here. Like him, Marlo, winning Wemby there with the Spurs. When the Raptors won the 2006 NBA draft, that was fun. Until we got to the actual number 1 pick, taking Andrea Bargnani. I was actually at that draft, which was just a random thing, the only one I've ever been to. So that was great. The Raptors' unexpected playoff run at the end of the 2013-14 season, which they then rushed to introduce the We the North slogan, that was an awesome little stretch there for the Raptors, where they finally were getting back into the playoffs. They just turned it on. We the North started happening. You know, Drake's involved. That was just a blast. And then it was the championship year, but my favorite game ever that I've been to was Game 6 versus the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals that, you know, punched their ticket to the finals.
4 years on this day, actually, yeah.
Well, there you go. Wow. You know, when Kawhi threw it down on the break there, and that was a series, they're down 2-0 and then rip off 4 straight. And just to go to the finals, you know, I know Nuggets fans are feeling that right now. It's pretty special. And, you know, to win it, that's the cherry on top of the sundae. But just going there for the first time in franchise history is awesome. So those are my 3. Winning the draft, that first, like, playoff run, and then Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, I'll add on since we're talking Toronto. The 2016 All-Star Game in Toronto was one of my favorite moments. Just having been a fan of that team forever, and then sitting in that arena with basketball royalty there just didn't seem real. It didn't seem real being a fan of that team the first 5, 6, 7 years that we'd ever attain anything close to that. So working it was also kind of cool, being in the concourse and having guys like Muggsy Bogues and Detlef Schrempf and those type of basketball royalty, but the best players in the world, enjoying one of the greatest cities in the world. I didn't think that would ever happen with the start, with, you know, Vince leaving, and Mighty Mouse leaving, and all that stuff. So that was pretty surreal looking back and just feeling that. Just didn't feel like it was real.
What about you, Trae, with the Bulls?
Bulls also won a lottery. It was awesome. It was for Derrick Rose, and it was a huge surprise, a 1.8% chance to jump up to number 1. And the number 1 pick is a guy from Chicago who actually went on to become the youngest MVP in league history. Happy times. Ended very sadly, of course, come 2012, but before that, pretty cool. Last season, Bulls won 9 straight games from December to January. DeRozan had back-to-back game winners, December 31st, January 1st. Bulls were in first place.
The Bulls were back.
Good times. Good times. Good times. Lonzo Ball, functioning knees. Very happy for him. So yeah, that's it for me.
Good stuff. Yep. I mean, you've got all your championships there,
It's been
too.
a long time, buddy.
It has been, I guess. You're right. Next one here. I'm a podcast listener in Tasmellis. This is for you.
Thank you.
Lawler's Law states that the first team to 100 wins every time. With the recent surge in scoring, we are seeing teams get to 100 with 6 minutes left in the fourth, and in some instances by the end of the third quarter. The sickos at Lawler'sLawTracker.com have tracked every game since 97 and have found that Lawler's Law is correct 92% of the time. Even with the upswing in scoring this season, it was still correct 85% of the time. With the scoring revolution on the rise, should we update the law to a higher point total, or is 100 the magic number still? Thanks for the quality hoops talk. That's from Ben Berkeley. Lawler's Law. First to 100 wins. But
Just
this
leave
year,
it.
only
Wow.
85% of the time.
Yeah, last year was
Sounds like
90% of the time. Looking on Lawler'sLawTracker.com. Very good website. So I don't think it actually, this season may have been an anomaly going down to 85%, but we stole the term wedgie from Ralph Lawler. He was the guy who was calling it in the NBA. Just let him have Lawler's Law. I think it's totally fine. It is pretty neat. I didn't know that this existed, that you could track on this website by season. And yeah, it's been a little less accurate over the last 7 years since scoring has gone up in general. It was more accurate way back when, late 90s, early 2000s, when there were fewer lead changes over 100. Just scoring was lower, so fewer teams getting to 100. But it's pretty damn accurate this season. Yeah, 85.8. Last year, 90. The year before that, 88, 87, 87, 90, 90. And then it went up, in the middle of the teens there to 93, 94. Sure, maybe it's not a law. Maybe it's more of a bylaw now. But 85, 86, 87, come on, that's pretty good.
It's good.
I say leave it.
This is a great website. I mean, this is right up there with WedgieTracker.com in my eyes. Way to go, Chris Peoples, who I believe did this. What do you think, Trey? Lawler's Law, keep it? Or do we need to change it?
I'm sending it to committee. They're going to study the effects, because 85% pretty accurate. It ain't 95% though. And it's going down. So likely this does need to be tweaked, but saying first to 100 wins sounds a lot better than first to 110 wins, which is kind of what I think the number should be.
Yeah.
But there are games that teams win when nobody gets to 110, right? Like they only get to 100. That still happens. So it's fine for now, but likely needs updating.
Keep our eye on it.
Yes.
Because you're right. If it continues to go down, 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 then we're going to have to tweak it. You'll have to. But, if this is a tiny bit of an anomaly, though it doesn't feel like it will be, but if it is, then yeah. 90% is good. You're right. Like overall, or what was it? 92 overall since they started tracking
and
it?
90 last year, so I think this year was just a down year.
Okay.
Down year for Ralph.
I do like that they point out on this site, like, the last lawbreaker.
There's a lot of great
The Heat.
factoids.
Yeah, this is an amazing site. This is a clean site, too. Looks good. Nice on the eyes. I wonder what Ralph thinks of this. He must like this. Nice photo of him there, too. Boom. Holding the mic, of course. Awesome.
Next one here. What up, podcast legends? The Nugget King here with another cue. Listening again to the Fast Friends Fast Five spinoff pod, and the part about The Rock and Vin Diesel looking like each other's nicknames and how they should fight to see who gets which name got me thinking. Who looks or plays like someone else's nickname? And what would be the best way for NBA players to take someone else's nickname? Hope to hear your thoughts and keep cranking out the classics. That's from Matt.
So on that podcast of Fast Friends, we were saying The Rock looks more like a Vin Diesel, whereas Vin Diesel looks like a guy. He looks like a rock.
Looks like a guy that would be called
Like his
The
head
Rock,
looks like a rock. Yeah. Okay.
I still stand by it. That sounds... I don't remember us saying that.
I don't
but
either.
It sounds good.
Shirt off, though.
accurate, yeah.
Shirt off, The Rock is more chiseled. He's more rocky under that shirt.
Yeah, he's like a diesel Mac truck.
He's both, man. He should get both.
It was more definitely that Vin's head looks just like a rock.
Very boulder shape.
Yeah, boulder. Yeah. But do you have an answer to this? An NBA sort of twist to this?
There
Trey?
are some that I think are questionable. Like Kristaps Porzingis being the unicorn to me is like the funniest nickname that's out there. Because Kevin Durant gave him this nickname because Porzingis came in, 7'3" dude, handling the ball, shooting from outside. We've never seen that before, and we will never see it again, just like a unicorn. And now, like, every country has one of those guys, or multiple of those guys. So I think that one's up for grabs.
Sure.
It's kind of becoming a little bit of a category for players. Like, I hear people say, is he a unicorn? Is he a unicorn?
Right.
kind of like intimating that there are several unicorns. I don't know. I don't know if
So it's just like, and that just means giant dude, like creepy big dude that can still shoot and handle
guard
a little.
style. Yeah. Like, I mean, I guess Vic has already transcended this as he has become the alien, which is pretty good.
Right.
Nonetheless, I think that's a funny one. Andre Drummond is the big penguin. I feel like Nikola Jokic moves more like a penguin.
Wow. Big Honey is now the big penguin.
Yeah, I mean, Big Honey is a great nickname. I'm just looking like a penguin-esque gait is more Jokic to me than Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond is a bit like a Tasmanian devil. I feel like he's flying around, smashing his body into everybody. And the last one that was very questionable to me, I saw that Cody Zeller is known as the Big Handsome.
What?
Yeah. Like Cody Zeller, the Big Handsome is what they call him. Like the Big Sexy, but just handsome.
Sarcastically?
I would assume so. But it led me to thinking, who's the most handsome big guy?
Okay.
My three candidates were Embiid.
Yeah.
I think he's got a nice look. Towns, Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
And Al Horford, longtime
Horford.
standby.
Yeah,
and he is
he's our
handsome
favorite.
too, because I feel like he would wear a crew neck sweater to an event. And that's like a handsome look. Whereas Embiid and Towns, they're probably going for something a little bit more high fashion.
I like Horford
Yeah.
for Big Handsome.
So whoever wins this series gets the nickname.
The big handsome.
It's probably going to be Cody Zeller in an upset, but Horford could swing it.
I do like Jimmy Butler's nickname for him and Cody Zeller, Black Man and Robin, that he threw out there. Pretty good stuff. So he's already been re-nicknamed, I guess. Yeah, I was looking through Jokic's nicknames. The Big Honey is out there. The Big Tipper, I didn't realize was a nickname for him, but it's pretty good. He gets on the glass and tips a lot of shots.
Oh, yeah.
The Big Dipper, Big Tipper.
That's funny.
I think he could be named Mr. Big Shot. Sorry, Chauncey Billups.
Whoa.
But he could with the difficulty level. I don't know if there's a different nickname for that. Like, no effing way. That's his nickname. Something to that effect. I do think, having looked back at some old ones, Threesis was Kyle Korver's nickname. That's got to go to Steph, because Steph currently, his nickname, whether it's Chef Curry, meh. I think quite often it's combined with Klay Thompson. That's his best nickname. That's his best known nickname. But this is frickin' Steph Curry. So Threesis makes a lot of sense. Just change the game. And it actually is on his basketball reference page, but nobody calls him that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, we have a double nickname on
Yeah.
both of
I
those.
wonder if that's... Yeah, I'm sure that's pretty common out there. There's double nicknames. Anyways, he's created the three-point shot. Jesus lived till 33. Give it to Steph. Steph is Threesis.
A nickname I've always loved from NBA history is Plastic Man,
Yeah,
Stacey
that's a cool
Ogman.
nickname.
Somebody needs that nickname. Mikal Bridges? Could he be a Plastic Man?
Sure.
I mean,
Isn't his noodles right now on
Yeah.
basketball
Right,
reference or
like,
something
He's
like
got a
that?
lot.
better.
Brooklyn Bridge, String Bean.
Right. I just think it's such a
Plastic Man
great
is cool.
nickname. And I also like it for him because he's an Iron Man, so it's like the durability. I guess plastic breaks.
Not as durable as iron, unfortunately.
I don't know. Somebody's got to be the
durable,
Plastic Man. Though, here's my answer to this. I think it's what's going to happen in the next year or two. I know he's one of the greatest players of all time. I'm talking Kevin Durant here. One of his nicknames, even though he hates it, the Slim Reaper. What about Wemby possibly stealing that? Maybe even Chet Holmgren if he balls out. I mean, those guys are even slimmer and taller than Kevin Durant. So it's in play.
Yep.
They'd have to play at an incredible level for, a decade plus to take the Slim Reaper. But, keep an eye on that. Those guys are
Put a
skinny.
pin in it.
Yeah.
Any idea for the best way for players to take someone else's nickname?
Oh, yeah.
Second part of the question. You guys said The Rock and Vin Diesel should just duke it out.
They just fight. Okay.
Fisticuffs. But in this instance, I think it depends on the nickname. Like,
Well, if it's
That will-
if it's a nickname like Threesis, then we're having a 3-point shooting contest. Or we're shooting 1,000 3-pointers and whoever hits the most. I guess like playing one-on-one would be my obvious go-to for this.
yeah.
To steal
Tough.
the nickname, but yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with a nickname for Jokic that's based around tough shots. So like Mr. Tough Shot. How about this?
Mr. Bigger Shot.
Oh,
Yeah, my first thought was Mr. Hard Shot, and I was like, I don't know. That one's pushing it. But I've settled on this. Mr. Horse Shot. but the horse is capitalized, as in the game of horse.
Yeah.
He's shooting
He loves
horse
horses.
shots, and he loves horses.
Yeah.
Mr. Horse Shot. Sounds pretty dumb.
Sounds stupid, but
Sounds pretty dumb, but that could make it on Basketball Reference as like the 8th nickname.
Mr. Horse
Mr.
Shot.
Horse.
Michael Malone, his head coach, did call him Secretariat last week.
Yeah.
So it just keeps going.
Why don't we like
Or
call him
something.
Mr. Ed?
A horse is a horse.
Yeah, of course. All right, there's lots there.
Okay, one
Tell
more
us.
thing. One more thing about nicknames. I had to put Junkyard Dog into Basketball Reference.
Okay.
5 players came
All
back.
right,
Nicknamed
Jerome Williams.
Jerome Williams, of
JYD.
course. Yep.
Okoro.
No Okoro.
Oh.
At least not.
I guess they gave him the chain. That made me think
Yeah,
of
maybe
that.
it hasn't been updated yet. So
Can we-
Jerome Williams is like the 3rd most recent Junkyard Dog, I would say.
Is Jay Crowder on there?
No, but
PJ Tucker?
No, fair. A local. We got a local dog
Damari
here.
Carroll.
Damari Carroll.
Yeah,
That's
he
a
played
good
for
one.
the Raps too. Yeah.
This one I don't think you'll get because this was one I had never heard before. Tony Roten
Oh,
was the Junkyard Dog.
wouldn't have got that.
That was a perimeter player. That's a weird one to me.
Yeah.
And then the other two,
More of a Tony Allen.
more of a Tony Allen. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other two were Daryl Walker
Oh.
in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
I guess probably the original Junkyard Dog. And then Mario Ellie, a Junkyard Dog as well.
Oh, I don't think I would have gotten that one, but.
Gotta have a dog fight.
So do we?
Not really.
Well, if
Not
a
really.
man's got to have a dog, does the league got to have a dog?
League gotta have a dog.
League got to have a dog. So there always has to be a Junkyard Dog in the
up for
league.
grabs right now,
That's
then.
what I'm saying. You didn't give us a current player.
Who is the Junkyard Dog of the NBA right now? Stay tuned. After the break, we'll have your answer.
There we go. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. More beach stepping questions in a sec.
Our next partner is a classic. Let's talk about Athletic Greens. If you're looking to get better gut health, more energy, or a stronger immune system in a really easy, natural way, you gotta check out Athletic Greens. Nobody wants to take a bunch of pills or vitamins in the morning, but with Athletic Greens, it's all good. You can get rid of all those extra vitamin bottles and finally make some room in your cabinet. Cabinet space at a premium. Everywhere I've been. How do you fill up cabinets so quickly when you move somewhere? Doesn't even make sense. But Athletic Greens is an all-in-one solution that actually tastes good. You're gonna enjoy getting your daily vitamins. With one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food-sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. It's lifestyle friendly, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. And Athletic Greens contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, nasty chemicals, or artificial anything, while still tasting good. How do they do it? How do they do it? You want to find out? Go reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. Just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/nodunks. That's athleticgreens.com/nodunks to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
This episode is also brought to you by Philo. There's nothing better than unwinding and watching a little TV. VPR, RHOA, SH, that's Summer House. But the hassle of finding what to watch and a costly cable bill just isn't worth it. That's why more and more people are cutting the cord. Snip, snip. If you love TV, Philo is your solution. Philo has shows, movies, and live TV for just $25 a month. No contracts, no commitments, no hassle. Just a better way to watch TV. And check this, Philo has an unlimited DVR for 1 year, so you can save all of your favorite shows and watch them on your own schedule. You know how convenient that is during the NBA playoffs?
It's actually
When there's so many games, 40 games in 40 nights and all that, but you got all these other shows you want to watch? Well, you record it, watch it when you can, maybe a little afternoon viewing. Philo also allows for multiple profiles and multiple streams, so everyone in the house can have their own saved shows and up to 3 streams going at once, simultaneously. Say goodbye to fighting over who gets to pick what to watch. That used to be a thing. I used to like have
that used to
full-on
be a thing.
arguments with my sister about what we're watching. Crazy. It's like I want to watch the game, or she wants to
We'll
watch
tape America's Funniest Home
TGIF.
Videos, okay?
Yeah. Wild. You don't know how good you have it now. If you can't get enough TV, then there's no better way to watch. Philo has more than 70 channels like BET, VH1, AMC, and Vice. Vice. They got Storage Wars. Yup! Remember Storage Wars?
They got Storage Wars? They haven't opened every single storage unit in America yet?
No.
Wow.
Still going through them.
Salute to the soldiers.
Man, I like when they would always convince themselves they found something of value. This is gonna be worth something. No, it's not. And like City TV, Philo is everywhere. That's for you Canadians. You can watch from your phone, your laptop, tablet, or TV. We're talking Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, Samsung, Android TV. It's easy to use and hilariously easy to sign up. With Philo, you can start watching in seconds for less money, and like I said, less hassle. So try it yourself with their 7-day free trial. Sign up today at philo.tv. That's philo.tv, and use the promo code NODUNKS to get 50% off your first month. No NBA playoff game last night, no problem. We're on the beach reading your emails and tweets. We'll get to a whole new batch here in a second, but a league's gotta have a dog, as we have determined, which means we need a player with the nickname Junkyard Dog. And who are we going with?
We got 4 candidates from the stream team. Going to put up a poll here. Who is the NBA's current Junkyard Dog? PJ Tucker, who I assume will probably win the poll, but also included Jay Crowder, as mentioned before. He's a Junkyard Dog, though he probably would have liked to get this name a couple of seasons prior, after the way things went with the Bucks. And then Marcus Smart is a nominee, the Hustle Award winner this season and last, I believe, a 3-time winner. And then a surprising one that I was happy to see from the stream team, Bruce Brown of the Denver Nuggets.
Okay.
Different kind of dog.
Different kind of dog. A lot of different breeds out there, you know?
Yeah.
So those are your choices. PJ Tucker, Jay Crowder, Marcus Smart, Bruce Brown. Get your votes in. Who is the NBA's current Junkyard Dog?
All right. While you weigh in that poll, make sure you hit the like button too, and make sure you've subscribed to No Dunks on YouTube. Also, leave your boys a 5-star rating and review if you're a podcast listener. Let's keep going with the questions. Got a quick one here. Is Jamal Murray the greatest player without an all-star game and all-NBA appearance? This is from Swish at JCRSM_2195 by way of Twitter. Jamal Murray, greatest player without an all-star game nod or an all-NBA selection. Greatest? I think that's a bit of a reach, but he's on the list when you start considering it. He's been in the league, 5 or 6 years now? Of course, hasn't made either of these. And when you add in his playoff performances, big games, not just this one, but back to the bubble, yeah, I get why we're getting this question. But I thought I'd hit you guys with a list of the greatest players to never make an all-star game or an all-NBA appearance. And I tried to keep it to the last 25 years or so. Some honorable mentions to the OGs, though. So I'm talking about guys in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. John Williamson, he was a bucket for your Nets back in the day. Cedric Maxwell leads a lot of people's lists when it comes to this for the
MVP.
Celtics. That's right. Eddie Johnson, Purvis Short, Byron Scott, Sam Perkins, Big Smooth. Arvydas Sabonis comes over to the league, very, very late in his career, coming in at the age he did. Ron Harper, Derek Harper, Tony Kukoc, back in the 90s Bulls days, and Drazen Petrovic, R.I.P. Again, those were 70s, 80s, 90s that are all deserving for some love to having never made one of those two. Two other names that didn't make an all-star game, but did make an all-NBA team once. Rod Strickland, which everybody always brings up as one of the best players to never make an all-star game. Mm-hmm. True, he made one all-NBA selection. And Al Jefferson, never made an all-star game, got one all-NBA nod. So they're obviously not in the running here because they got the all-NBA selection. Current players, Jamal Murray is at the top of the list, but the rest of these current players, I put it under the umbrella of yeah, they haven't yet, but give it time. Or it's just they've had 1 or 2 really good years. Like Jalen Brunson, the year he just had. Tyler Hero, a couple great years coming off the bench. Tyrese Maxey, Desmond Bane, Mikal Bridges, like all these names. These are all really young players. And I mean, I don't know. All 7 of those guys, 6 of those guys I just listed, probably 5 of them end up making an all-star game, I'd assume. Maybe all of them, because they're all great. So Jamal Murray, yeah, awesome question. And now gets us to the real list. From the last 25 years or so, like I said, 12 best players to never make an NBA All-Star game or All-NBA team. I was going to rank these, and then I tried putting them in order, and I was like, this is impossible. Like, I don't know how to, like, determine, like, 7th to 3rd. So I thought, I'll give you the 12 names in alphabetical order, state their case why, and then maybe you guys pick, like, your top 3 or something like that. In alphabetical order, the first name, it's Mike Bibby. 2001, 2002, the Kings had the NBA's best record. They won 61 games, and from 03 to 07, Bibby helped Sacramento make a ton of like deep playoff runs, and he averaged 19 points per game and 5.5 assists. Like, he's the lead point guard on a really, really good team. As much as I hate him, it's got to be on the list. So Mike Bibby.
Was great, man.
Marcus Camby, double-double machine, legendary shot blocker, 4 times selected to all defensive teams. He won DPOY. Now, this is an all-star game, so you always, if you're a defensive-minded guy, your chances of making it, they're reduced greatly. But from the moment he entered the league for the Raps in 96-97 through his split season with the Clippers and Blazers in 2009 and 2010, that's a long chunk of time there. He averaged 10.5 points per game, 10 boards, 2.6 blocks, and a steal per game. The guy just put up huge numbers, both on the glass, obviously when it came to blocking. Even the steal per game there, I think, is incredible over that long a window. Nobody matched that production.
The Camby Man.
Yeah.
It's a good nickname. Marcus Can't Be, also a nickname on Basketball Reference.
Wow. Can't be an all-star, I guess, because plays too much defense. Like, I think it's just weird that he didn't make it once, like as a random injury replacement or something like that. Some really solid years. So he's on the list.
I'm surprised he never was scoring more than 12 points a game.
He scored the most, did he not, as a rookie for the Raptors?
14.8 for the Raptors.
I don't think he ever scored more than that.
12.8 is his next on Denver in 05-06.
Yeah, fascinating.
But in those thin years for Eastern Conference bigs, you think you'd squeeze in over a Jamal McGlure or that kind of, maybe.
For sure.
Maybe.
Okay, Jamal Crawford, you want buckets, here you go. 3-time Sixth Man of the Year. Guy scored nearly 20,000 career points. He had 7 different seasons where he averaged over 17 points per game. I think what really hurt him is not just coming off the bench, but this guy played for 9 different teams. Like, he played for a whole lot of teams. So maybe that doesn't help his chances, but he's on a lot of these type of lists for a guy that never got to an all-star game. CJ McCollum, current player. Career numbers for CJ McCollum here, guys. 650-plus games played. He averages 24 and 4. 20 points per game, 4 boards, 4 assists. Career shooting splits, 45 from the floor, 40 from 3 if you just round up a little bit, and 80 at the line. Played in the shadow of Damian Lillard, obviously. That 1 year, his 4th year with Portland, he was averaging 23.4 points per game before the All-Star break. Problem was the Blazers were like 10 games below 500 at the All-Star break. As you'll see with a lot of these guys, having great years but being on crappy teams, it's always going to like hurt your chances of making an all-star team. But CJ, of all the current players, he's the new Mike Conley. He's the new, whoa, that guy hasn't made one. That guy's been in the league for a decade now and has a lot of good years in terms of scoring the ball. But we'll see. Will he make one sort of like Conley did near the end? It's possible. Another current player, I threw him on here just for fun. Tobias Harris. I know. It's a weird one, but when I went and looked at like his best window, if you strike out this past season where he really struggled to score, like his numbers really dipped, if you count the last season he was with Detroit in 2017-18, and then his stop with the Clippers there, and then through to Philly, like the last 3 years, again, before this last year, his averages, Tobias Harris, were 19 points per game, 7 boards, 3 assists, great shooting percentages. That's a 5-year window. And I was like, was this guy like Sean Elliott? That's like sort of like what was coming to mind. I'm like, how many All-Star games did Sean Elliott make? He made a couple, 2. So Tobias is not going to make one, I don't think, now moving forward. you can argue whether he should even be included here, but they're pretty good numbers, and he's always like that classic third guy on a team. He needs his team to be like running away with the number 1 seed at the All-Star break, and then maybe he slides in, would have, because it's probably not going to happen now.
That to me is the difference. Like Sean Elliott was playing on good teams. Tobias Harris is like the second or third guy on a 40-win team. Somebody's got to score 20 points. He's more of an Aaron Aflalo to me, who maybe may make this list.
I don't have Aflalo, but that's a good one. He had a couple good years. I remember going to bat for him one year.
It was Aflalo
like,
versus like Lance Stevenson or something like that way back when.
Andre Miller, the consummate point guard. He led the NBA with 10.9 assists per game in 2001-2002. 10.9 assists per game. He was playing on a very shitty team. This is pre-LeBron on the Cavs. But he is the only player in NBA history to have at least 16,000 career points, 8,000 assists, which is a lot, and 1,500 steals without making an All-Star game. He's the only guy. The other names, they're wild. 16,000 career points, 8,000 assists, 1,500 steals. LeBron, Stockton, Gary Payton, Kidd, Magic, Isaiah, Russell Westbrook, and Chris Paul. So it's like, I know I'm like picking and choosing the stats there, the accumulated stats, but that's a wild list. And he never made one, obviously. But he just didn't score a lot, had a whole lot of assists, and he played on some bad teams.
Yeah. Andre Miller was on my short list for sure. But he definitely racked up career numbers because he was the same player when he was like 22 years old as when he was 52 years old.
Okay.
Speed.
How about this guy for the generation prior's Tobias Harris? Richard Jefferson. Is there anything to that?
Okay.
Maybe. He was probably better, RJ. He put up really all-star worthy numbers in 07-08. He averaged 22.6 points per game, 4.2 boards, 3.1 assists. Again, he's hurt by the Nets being below 500 at the All-Star break. I think they were like 6 or 7 games below. But like Tobias, you throw out RJ's rookie season, RJ averaged 19-6-3 in 6 seasons with New Jersey. On good teams, too. I mean, those teams were averaging 45 to 49 wins for a lot of those years, so they were pretty good in the Eastern Conference. He's overshadowed by who he's playing with, I think, on his team. But how do you feel about RJ being in the mix, at least?
Yeah, it's surprising, actually, because the Nets were good. He's scoring over 20 per game.
Yeah.
I'm looking at one year just a little bit after they went to the finals in the mid-aughts. He got hurt in January.
He did.
When he was kicking ass that year. It was
might have been his
22
best
points.
chance.
So yeah, that seems like his best chance. Although I'm not going to bring up percentages when we're looking back, but yeah, it's just kind of surprising he didn't sneak in there forward spot in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, like some highlights too, a
little
high
Sean,
flyer.
a little Sean Marion light, puts up the numbers.
Lamar Odom is on this list from his rookie year through 07-08. He averaged 16 points per game, 9 boards, 4.5 assists, a steal and a block. I mean, he sort of did a bit of everything. Garnett and Weber, the only players to put up those type of numbers, sustain those numbers, benchmarks over that time. Odom was just sort of a little bit ahead of the positionless curve, I guess. Like, he sort of started it almost. But it is wild he never made one, Lamar Odom. And obviously played on very good teams. Played his role perfectly. So he's on a lot of these lists that you see near the top. Jason Richardson. He averaged 23-6-4 during the 05-06 season with the Warriors. That was probably his best year. Played a part on the We Believe Warriors. Mm-hmm. I always forget he played like a pretty instrumental part in the Suns' run to the conference finals in 2009-2010. He averaged 20-5 in 16 playoff games. Really, really good. So, high scorer, obviously the dunk champ and all that, but he was on some bad teams too that just weren't winning enough for him to probably really deserve or warranted a selection from the coaches. A couple more names. Jalen Rose. That little window between the Pacers and the Bulls, good. 3-4 years there, he was averaging 25-5. Basically, he played a lot of minutes. Really solid player. Jason Terry's on this list. He hit a lot of threes. He averaged like 17-5 sort of during his quote-unquote prime there, which was like a long, long stretch. Played a lot of regular season games. Sort of Murray-like where Jason Terry had some like huge moments in playoff games too, especially during the Mavericks 2011 championship run. Is that what Murray is replicating right now? If the Nuggets can do it here, maybe. Lou Williams is my final name. just like Jamal Crawford. 3-time Sixth Man of the Year, consistent bucket off the bench. And his best year probably came with the Clippers. He averaged 22.6 points per game and 5.5 assists per game. And LA they were like 30 and 26 at the break there. So, Lou Williams. That's the list, guys. 12 names. Who's like top 3 to you? Or who did I miss? I'm sure there's other names out there.
Top 3 for me would probably be Andre Miller. I got him ranked high just because I think he was a solid guy. Everywhere he went, led the league in assists, I think you said. At least one time.
10.9.
Yeah, he was a really solid player. I got Lamar Odom as well because I feel like of all these guys that you have named, maybe the most talented player.
I agree.
And he was fitting alongside Kobe and Pau Gasol, and even Andrew Bynum was quite the player then. He was just kind of doing everything, but, you know, it seemed like Lamar Odom could have probably averaged 25 points per game and 10 assists if he wanted to, and it never felt like he wanted to. And then the last guy, I originally had Bibby, but I think I'm going to sub him out for Jamal Crawford. 3-time Sixth Man of the Year, so, I mean, he's getting his flowers the way he's supposed to get them, but I just really like watching Jamal Crawford, and man, it would have been awesome to see him in an All-Star game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Him and Lou Williams, perfect for an All-Star game environment. What about you, Tess?
Yeah, and the fact that he played 20 years, which is a very rare club. I mean, one game in his last season to get him to that 20-year cool. Mark. But, yeah, a special guy. Andre Miller, I think, has to be on there. He had a 50-point game. He could have scored more, too, if he wanted, but he played the game the right way. Played it with George Karl. Passing the ball. So I think I would put those 2 guys on there. Crawford, a bucket. Miller, a special guy, special player, special stats. The third, Lamar Odom's a great one. Won a Sixth Man of the Year. So, you know, he got some awards in him. Give me an R, Jeff. Just because I like his TikTok work.
Okay. So again, the 12 best players to never make an NBA All-Star game or All-NBA team in the last 25 years. In alphabetical order, I got Bibby, Camby, Crawford, CJ McCollum, Tobias Harris, Andre Miller, Richard Jefferson, Lamar Odom, Jason Richardson, Jalen Rose, Jason Terry, and sweet Lou Williams. I was thinking, eating breakfast this morning, I'm like, I gotta be forgetting somebody. Who am I forgetting? And then I was like, Andrei Kirilenko. He was a great player. He had some great years. And then I went and checked. He made an All-Star team.
Indeed.
So then I was like, wow, Kirilenko made an All-Star team, and Lamar Odom didn't. Because, like, I think of them at times as some similarities, like just filling the box score, obviously Swiss Army knife type players. But yeah, he made it. Kirilenko did 1 year, and Lamar never did. So there you have it.
Good thing we did this question now. Jamal Murray's going to make the All-Star team next year.
I would.
As long as he plays. Healthy, yeah. I mean, he played 65 games this year. That's actually enough to make the All-Star team. Turned it on a little bit as the year went on, but I think with the success we've seen from the Nuggets this year, his rep is going to rise to the level that he will make the team next year as long as he has a season like he did this year.
I would agree
Middleton
with that.
style, if you will.
Yep, I would agree with that.
Yeah, he got injured. That obviously hurt. What was the debate a few years ago? Who's going to make their first All-Star game? It was Jamal Murray or someone. Before he got hurt, there was somebody that it was the prominent him, and it was always Jamal Murray.
No? SGA?
I think it may have been pre-Fox. Maybe it was Fox. Nah, I think it was pre-Fox.
Booker?
Maybe
Book. He made a while
maybe
ago.
It was Book.
Well, Lee and I used to always like it was the Booker Beal thing.
Going way back. Anyways, we'll figure it out. We got a question about 20-year careers here. LeBron James just finished his 20th season, a club only 9 other players belong to, including Jamal Crawford. Which current players would you predict joining the 20-season club? That's from PHX Cody. What do you got, Trae? This is an interesting question.
Well, I think my good friend PHX Cody here is watching one of the players who's going to get to 20 seasons. Kevin Durant is in currently his 16th season. I guess technically 15 if you count the year he missed, but he was still an NBA employee cashing NBA checks. This dude loves to hoop. He's going to make it to 20 seasons. He's going to play another 4 years. I think that is an easy one. He's the next guy to get to 20 for me.
I think, technically they wouldn't include him unless he does another 5 years.
I was just going to ask that.
Play.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's
even though he's getting paid.
The rule.
Paid, yeah.
I think it applied to, who was it? Was it Kevin Willis? I think he missed a year, and then he got he got to his 20 mark in his 21st season, if you
go.
want to call
Okay,
it that.
okay.
So if you want to be technical about it. But, yeah, who are the guys? I mean, we probably don't know off the top of our heads. Kevin Willis, Dirk, Dikembe,
Robert
Parrish, did he make it? Yeah.
Kobe.
How many did Kareem end up playing?
Probably more than 20.
Yeah.
You said Vince, yeah. We named half
Jamal
of them.
Crawford.
Yeah. Yeah, Vince the leader in the clubhouse. I think that's a good one. KD could, which is an astonishing one, considering his injuries early on. I would probably pick Luka to get there. Seems like a durable guy. That's what you want to pick when you're looking at these. He would be 38 to start his 20th season. He started pretty young. He started 19, so you want that if you're looking at it. And I think Steph has a possibility.
Oh, yeah.
Just because the way he plays. But he started late, going to college. So he would be 40
True.
to start his 20th season.
What about Chris
And
Paul?
he's got a lot of miles on those legs. Chris Paul's close,
Chris
right?
Paul's very close.
Chris Paul is close.
Two
If
more.
he wants to, he can obviously be on a bench. and
Yeah.
Still even playing, like spot
I mean, he's
minutes.
technically signed through his 20th season. So
Right. Maybe in 10 years the answer will be everybody?
We're going to see more.
yeah.
We're
Yeah.
absolutely going to see more.
Yeah. Good question, though.
We only missed two 20 season plus players. One is current right now.
Haslam?
You're going to see his face tonight. That's exactly right. Udonis Haslam. And, I mean, they're playing the game in Boston. You might see this guy's face as well.
20 years. We said
21 years.
Kevin Garnett?
That's right. But Kevin Garnett, 21
Yeah.
seasons.
Kevin Garnett played.
Well, he started so young,
I
right?
know, but I don't
95
include him
to
in this list
2016.
ever, obviously.
Yeah.
I
Think
forget
he'll
that.
be there tonight?
It's a great question.
It's possible.
I guess it's possible.
Anything is possible. Impossible is nothing.
That's right. Next one here. Longtime listener, first time beacher. We love to see it. I haven't really seen anyone else talk about this, but I would love to see a Trae Young for Zach LaVine trade. The Bulls are in need of a point guard that can create some offense and shoot threes, and I believe they now have the defensive pieces to cover for Trae's lack of defense. With Atlanta, this lets them go all in on DeJounte Murray. Trae Young also seems to be in a strange state with the Hawks, and the players don't seem to buy into his type of leadership. LaVine can come in and provide a better off-ball solution for Murray while still being able to get his own when needed. DeJounte also friends with Zach, being how they both grew up playing in Seattle. The money seems like it works, but I believe the Bulls would have to include one of Io, Kobe, or Pat. Just going with their short versions of
Pat
their
Murphy?
names to really convince
Send him down
Atlanta. Who says no? Okay, so this is a Trae Young for Zach LaVine trade with probably the Bulls including a little bit more, which I do believe. Also, I just wanted to retroactively thank you guys for the $500 from Cash App, a contest that you guys did a couple years ago. It really helped when
Throwback.
COVID was whooping my wallet's ass. This is from Antonio in Chicago. I forgot we did that. Cash App giveaway
Yeah,
way
oh,
back
yeah.
in the day. Happy to hear you got it. Happy to hear it helped. And Trae, I mean, you got to start this one off. The idea of a Trae Young for Zach LaVine sort of deal. Where are you at on this?
These guys are on the exact same contract. Like, to the dollar amount. This season, they both made $37,096,500. Next season, they both make $40,064,220. They're on the exact same contract, which is why the Hawks would say no. Zach LaVine is 3.5 years older than Trae Young is. He's got injuries in his past, though he seems to have put them behind him during the second half of the season. He looked great, and it's not like Zach LaVine would come into another team and instantly become an off-ball guy. He wants to have the ball just like Trae Young does, just like DeMar DeRozan does for the Bulls right now. So I do believe it would be the Hawks saying no because they would be getting older. I still think Trae Young is more of a number one than Zach LaVine is, and I don't think that Io, Kobe, or my good friend Pat Murphy would be the one to really swing this deal here.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Murph's a great locker room guy, though.
Brings it together.
Yeah.
See a Junkyard Dog?
He's no. He was a pitcher. He was a baseball pitcher back in the
he's
day.
a pretty boy.
He's a pretty boy scumbag. You know, baseball players really toe the line.
Yeah, you're right.
He's a great electrician, too, right? Here in Georgia. The
Yes.
Pat Murphy
Yes,
electrical
Pat Murphy
company
electrical
kicking ass. Anyway, yeah, all the reasons. I got. Which guy do you have a little bit more faith into being number one, as you said? It's got to be the younger guy in Trae Young. Again, he's gone through a roller coaster of a career already because he was bowing in MSG in just his third year. So he's only played 5 years. he's young. Look,
Only played 5 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
it feels like he's been around
Eventful
forever.
5 seasons.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Not even 25. Like, he'll be 25 going into next year. You think about it that way, yeah, he's not even in his prime. He's going to grow, be better. So it's hard. It's hard to even think about that type of package.
Yeah, he had a really bad year when it came to shooting, for sure, especially from deep at 33%. And he hasn't even been he's not Steph Curry level of three-point shooter. He's not a threesist by any means. Like, in his career, 35%, which you'd like to see higher too. But with Trae Young, it oddly has become where suddenly a guy is, like, underrated. Like, it's like he's getting thrown in all these things, and it's like all these, like, sort of half-assed packages, and you're like, he's really good. Like, he is. He has faults. No doubt. I mean, the defense is always going to be somewhat of an issue, and maybe he is not. I don't know. I think it's still too early. Like, what type of leader is he? But my God, the guy, he's like 26-10 in his career, and 25-10. Like, well, slow down a little bit here with like trying to ship him out. And I hope the Hawks are as well. So yeah, I like the concept. There would have to be more coming back from the Bulls, but I just don't think Atlanta would ever do this. And you said it yesterday, Taz, too. Like, with the Quinn Snyder addition as the head coach, they are at least going to do their moves this offseason, try and shore up that team a little bit, and then with Quinn, have a full training camp and a start of the season and see if they can actually live up to some expectations. This is a team that also always starts like crap.
Yeah.
Like, come in and have a good start to a season, and you can put all this to bed, which I think they have in them. And I think Quinn maybe is the right guy for it. So,
yeah, he needs a relationship with the coach. I know the Nate McMillan one started well, didn't end well. The Lloyd Pierce one didn't go all that well. So I think this is important to him. You're turning 25. Maybe that's a part of it too. Just growing up a little bit. Yeah. He likes Quinn. He said the future here in Atlanta is Quinn. Quinn's a one-name man, a one N on the end of his name man, and a one-name man. Just Quinn and Trae, I think, could work well together. But yeah, this is I called it a roller coaster of a career because this is probably the lowest rep he's had in several years. He went into the All-Star break averaging 29 and like 9.5 and wasn't an All-Star and wasn't voted very highly by his peers.
No.
So that's, reputation-wise, it's bad for him, but I think he's working right now. That's what the Atlanta Hawks Twitter account says. He's working out right now. So I think he's working to get better, and I'm sure his second year with DeJounte Murray is going to be better as well.
I think so.
We'll see.
All right, final one here. What we got?
In an unlikely world where both Chris Paul and LeBron James retire after this season, how would you rank the careers of the Banana Boat crew? LeBron is obviously the first pick, and I'm leaning towards Wade for number 2. But 2 to 4 is pretty murky. That's from Creature Skeleton. Well, 2 to 4 is murky. I don't think so. I'm taking Gabby at number 2. Gabrielle Union was on the banana boat. Carmelo Anthony was not on the banana boat. That's one of those Mandela effects we always think of. Melo with Chris Paul and Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. Now, Melo has cleared this up. He said he was on his way. And
he was on his way to the banana boat?
No, he flew in. Well, he flew in, and he was taxiing from a boat. They kind of did leave without him, and they were sort of waiting though. And he said, apparently, "Nah, I don't want to be on that thing. Go do your thing." So
how am I going to wear a hat on that thing? So fly off.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So the banana boat crew that everyone remembers. Sorry, Gabby. We're going with the basketball players here. LeBron in the 1 seat. You'd rather have his career than anybody else, but then the debate can begin. Wade, who's the number 2, I'm sure. And then Melo and Chris Paul.
Yeah, the debate begins at number 3.
Yes.
Totally.
It goes LeBron, Wade, and then we can have some sort of conversation about who's 3. Is it Melo or Chris Paul?
The finals MVP, he's going at number 2. Yeah, Wade.
And 3 titles.
Yeah.
I think Wade is... Wade, I mean, I'm biased. Wade's one of my top 5 dudes ever, but I think that he is a lot further ahead than Chris Paul and Carmelo Anthony. I think you're taking Chris Paul over Carmelo Anthony. When it all comes down to it, though, they both have the exact same amount of postseason success.
Nah, Chris Paul got to a final.
They give you something for that.
No, but that's not the same postseason success, I wouldn't say.
Oh.
Carmelo Anthony got to a conference final. Chris Paul got to a final.
Okay. 4th and 2nd.
Yeah. But 4th in assists, you're talking 4th. Chris Paul, obviously people say, Melo's top 10 in scoring, but Chris Paul regarded as a higher player for a stretch. 5 times was top 5 in MVP voting.
Yeah.
and then 6th or 7th another 4 times. So top 7 9 times, and Melo was 3rd once, 6th once. So yeah, it's CP, even though people have forgotten it's a while back.
Yeah, I agree that that's the order. It's LeBron, Wade, Chris Paul, and Melo. Chris Paul is going to, ring or not, he's going to be considered one of the greatest point guards of all time, I think. There's some great ones, don't get me wrong, but I think he'll be included in that list. Again, whether he even win the ring, which it's looking like he may not unless he picks one up at the end. Whereas like Melo, when we just did 10 minutes like gushing over how much we love Melo and how cool he was and all the buckets and all that, but like I don't think he's going to be like, he's not going to be on those short lists of like, oh, he is one of the greatest small forwards, power forwards ever. He's just not. He's like a tier or 2 down. So yeah, I think that's the order. I wish it was the order they were on the boat. I mean, LeBron's at the back, Chris Paul then next, then Wade, and then Gabby at the front.
Yeah.
So, if you're going to redoctor this photo, put Melo into the photo and then put them in order. Put LeBron at 1, Wade 2, Chris Paul 3, and Melo on the end with his hat.
They got to go back and redo it. They should go on a vacation again.
Yeah.
It'd be hilarious if they did that picture.
Great questions, guys. Love that last one from @CreaturesSkeleton. Got to take one more break, but when we come back, we do have Tweet of the Night. Don't go anywhere.
Hold on. Time out. I get the Shopify ad read after what Jimmy Butler's done to Boston? Ooh, that's the sound of Butler clowning another Boston Celtic. Whether he's staring down Grant Williams, paying back Al Horford, or just completing another big face coffee sale, Jimmy is hearing that sound a lot these days. Shopify is the commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. Whether you're selling mini baseball bats or mini baseball helmets, Shopify simplifies selling online and in person so you can focus on successfully growing your business. Shopify covers every sales channel from an in-person POS system to an all-in-one e-commerce platform. It even lets you sell across social media marketplaces like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Packed with industry-leading tools, Shopify gives you complete control over your business and keeps it simple, like a big face coffee logo. You don't have to learn any new skills in design or code. And thanks to 24/7 help and an extensive business course library, Shopify is there to support your success every step of the way. Jimmy Butler started small too, started on Shopify. Now he's selling t-shirts for $75. Come on, Jimmy. It's a little too much, don't you think? Oh, I see a dad hat for $40. Okay, maybe. Might pull the trigger on that. No matter how big you want to grow, Shopify is there to empower you with the confidence and control to take your business to the next level. Now it's your turn to get serious about selling and try Shopify today. This is Possibility, powered by Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/nodunks. All lowercase. Go to shopify.com/nodunks to take your business to the next level today. Shopify.com/nodunks.
All right, let's start wrapping up this Beach Steppin' podcast with Tweet of the Night.
Tweet of the Night. Wow.
Tweet of the Night is actually Tweets of the Day, and it comes yesterday from @SlamOnline, sharing some great photos with a few captions. First one, welcome to the future. Paolo Banchero covers Slam 244. There it is, turbocharged. Is that a Fast and Furious reference there? With Paolo on the cover of Slam 244. But then we saw the full fit. Oh, baby, look at those jeans. Holy moly. And one more with the caption Y2K, just to really see how large the opening is on those jeans tats at the bottom. You could put multiple basketballs in those pants. So, yes, people were loving this. Trae, I know you were tweeting away about this. You're a fan of the fit here, the cover?
I'm a fan of the cover. I'm a fan of the photo shoot, no doubt about it. Wearing the JNCOs. On some of the photos, if you look on his left hip, you can see literally a pair of JNCOs. JNCO. It's right there.
Wow.
You know, from the future. That to me is a weird part of it. The future episode, we're going 20 to 30 years in the past for this look, but this to me became like instantly an iconic photo shoot, kind of on par with when Kobe Bryant was wearing those all-white outfits for, I think it was the LA Times. He had like the big, tall pilgrim hat.
Yeah.
I was like, this is one of the funniest NBA photo shoots of all time. Paolo Banchero in a giant pair of JNCOs. Shout out to him for being like, yeah, you're putting me on the cover of Slam magazine. I'll wear some weird pants.
Yeah.
Not everybody would do that.
He's got those pants on, and we don't even talk about the goggles that he's got on his head. Like, a lot of people pointing out he's looking like Seth Green's character from Can't Hardly Wait, which here it is. The goggles, the giant-ass pants. That's late 90s for you there. Tass, any thoughts on Banchero's fit?
Well, the decision to not put it on the cover is an interesting one. To not put the pants on the cover. Because, they're a little too much. But at the same time, then they sneak it into the photo shoot, which I guess those are images in the magazine. Like
no idea.
They may be. Yeah,
they probably are. Probably one or two.
I hope so.
They gotta show those pants.
Because I don't want it just to be an online thing. Yeah, they publish these things. If you're gonna make them wear these things, but yeah, good sport to put on those things.
Paolo is listed at 6'10". Okay, that's a big dude. How many regular-sized humans could fit in those jeans? Think about how big those jeans are right now. They're big on, like, a big version of those jeans on me are huge jeans, but then we're talking of a 6'10" guy here. How heavy are those jeans?
That's a good point.
Could I even lift them up?
You could use those jeans as a weighted blanket on your bed, I believe.
Guaranteed.
I mean, I don't know. I went to the JNCO website, of course, trying to figure out what pants these were.
Okay.
They could be anywhere from a 20-inch leg opening to a 50-inch leg
Those look gigantic.
Those gotta be.
I think those
they're
are
on the
50s.
high side. 50 inches?
But that's what it looked like when
That's
he lifted.
crazy, man. That's amazing.
Crazy stuff. Great look. Slam 244. Go grab yourself a copy of that. And hopefully some of those pics where we saw the actual full fit are in the actual magazine.
Got to.
Yeah, I have seen JNCOs being photoshopped into historical photos. I forget who did it, but hilariously done. Just really well done on the legs of people and random photos. It's so good. So good.
I tried to find a photo of me, by the way, wearing goggles. There was a definite summer where I was trying to wear those goggles on the head like Seth Green there.
That was a look.
I could not find it. I know there's one photo that exists of me with them at some party or something, or some, I don't know, summer bash or something, but I couldn't find it, so I failed you guys. I apologize. But
shout out to Mike Beauvais on Twitter. He's received tweet of the night before. He's photoshopping Lee Harvey Oswald in JNCOs.
Okay.
It's great. It's just great.
All right, let's call it up. Let's call it there.
I got a couple circle backs for you here real quick. We asked the people who's the NBA's current Junkyard Dog. 44% voted for PJ Tucker. Second leading vote getter was Bruce Brown at 33%. So he's the Junkyard Dog of this year's playoffs. At the very least, Tass, I need to apologize to you. Chris Paul had more postseason success than Carmelo Anthony. 81 playoff wins to just 28 for Carmelo Anthony.
Wow, 20.
Okay,
That's it.
going wins.
Now, you would say Chris Paul was on better teams.
Yeah, sure.
You certainly would.
You certainly would.
Because he was on them. That's also part of it.
All right. How do you rank the Banana Boat crew? Great questions, guys. Good to be back on the beach.
Love the beach.
Kicking around some sand, splashing around in the water, reading your emails and tweets. We'll be doing it again, no doubt, throughout the summer. But we've got No Buffs coming up later today.
Hey.
It was the finale last night. We got a lot to unpack, so join us at 1 p.m. Eastern. No Buffs, own YouTube feed, own podcast feed. And then tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll go live on playback for Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Boston Celtics and Miami Heat. No Gabe Vincent in this game. Shams during this show saying Gabe Vincent is out for Game 5. The opening is there for the Celtics to make this a series. Can they do it at home, or is Jimmy going to close the door on them? He was pretty casual after that Game 4 loss. What'd you say? He was, we're going to drink some beers and
drink some wines, and all I'm going to say is we're okay.
Yeah, that's right. So Jimmy Butler's going to be stupid hungover tonight or kicking ass. It'll be one or the other. Mixing wine and beer. So we'll be on playback tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Until then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, the first thing that comes up when you Google banana boat are people just really loving their times on a banana boat.
Embrace the day, people.